computer. All right, well, good morning, one and all. We are excited to begin today talking about the most important thing. You cannot ever forget discussing the commission. I feel like that's the first thing that people love to ignore. They feel like, oh, thank God we didn't have to talk about commission, right? I mean, have we all kind of ever been there where like, oh, we got away without having to talk about commission and I'll just slip it in and it'll be fine. Like, and it is never fine. Has anybody ever done that in a listing? Like you never talked about the commission and you just put it on your listing agreement and you just kind of thought it was okay? Anybody ever done that? And then that came back and then they're like, oh, no. This, I'm not feeling good about this commission. Have you ever done that? Nobody wants to share. Okay, that's quite all right. The listing conversation, a big part of that is two things, right? We all know. And one of them is the commission. But the whole part of our marketing is about that commission. We have to earn our commission by all the amazing things we do. And we need to feel very confident about asking for our commission. Hello, Miss Jeannie Green. How are you?
I'm good, Carrie.
Wonderful. So, I think Budge alluded to it, and I thought it was a brilliant statement and something that I've been really talking about and thinking about a lot. As our market is shifting, I think now more than ever, we will have the opportunity to really increase and really ask for a higher commission. The days of having to drop your commission, I think will be gone. The need for the 5%, people dropping their commission. When you just put a sign in the yard and anyone buys your home, I understand it's hard to compete because they're like, well, why? We don't really need you. I hate to say that, but that kind of was where we were at about a year ago, even 6 months ago. I mean, I'm going to be honest. We all know that, right? Those times are gone, guys. I mean, right now we have a home listed in Eagle Creek. It was started at 1.35, which was way above, honestly. But, who knows, right? 6 months ago, that might not have mattered. It matters now. Okay. And right now there's 5 of the exact same home out there and everybody is dropping the price and dropping the price. And what's happening is all these agents are, my agents are saying, what do we need to do? They've dropped the price twice. Guys, we always like to say that the sale is always a functionality of price, but at some point, is it? It's also a functionality of buyers. Would you not agree? Sometimes you have to find that buyer. And this is where the commission conversation really comes into play because we have the ability to find the buyer. And I have to say, not everybody has the tools and resources we do to help find the buyer. Do you guys agree with that? Right? So this is where I'm going to suggest when you go into that listing presentation, you come in with that mindset of all the things that we do differently than everybody else. And a big part of that is the fact that we truly find that buyer. That is our goal, to give you the right exposure to put you in front of the buyer. That is why we do what we do, right? The other agents don't do that. They put them in front of the agents, right? Because they're putting it in the MLS. Granted, the MLS puts it in a multitude of places, but really they're not focused on that. They're focused on really putting it in front of putting it in the MLS and letting other people, hey, Pete, I'm not alone. I'm so excited. Yay. We're talking about the listing conversation and the listing commission conversation. So what we're saying is when you go to that listing presentation, does everybody agree with this? And you come in with all of your tools and resources, you have to think about it a little differently. I want you to think differently this time. I mean, we always come in with our value proposition, the fact that we're global, right? Like everybody throw me. I want everybody to take off your mute because there's like, oh, let me put it up on the screen. Just a couple of us, so we can certainly take our mutes off. Let me put it up on is this TV on? Oh, it isn't. Okay. Entertainment room. We're going to be interactive today, guys.
All right, wait a minute. Let me get Sherry in here. She's pretty.
No, I'm not pretty today.
Well, you don't have to be visible if you don't want to, but I just want you to speak. Okay?
I'm at the car
I
dealership.
want you to share one thing of why Sotheby's, and not but what's in it for the customer? Okay. So Kelly, give me one. What's something special and unique that Sotheby's does for the customer?
So many things.
Yep, just give me one.
Well, again, just, I mean, the ability to market globally.
Okay, but why does the customer care? What does that mean to the customer?
I should go back. Getting in front of the most qualified customers all over the world.
Okay, that I love. I love that. Okay,
Be
Sherry,
specific. I got you.
yeah, Sherry, give me one. Now, while
Building
we're
the-
doing this, guys, I want us all to think about all of these things equate to our commission, right? All of this equals to a percentage point of what we're going to be earning and asking for. Does that make sense? Okay, Sherry, go.
Building the buyer's profile.
Right. We come with a buyer profile because we are actually out looking for that buyer. And I'm going to add to that, Sotheby's is the only company to reverse this that actually markets by lifestyle. So when a
Right.
buyer is looking, the buyer's looking by lifestyle. We understand the mindset of the buyer. The mindset of the buyer is not, oh, I'm dreaming of that 3-bedroom, 4-bathroom home. Nobody thinks like that, right? They think, oh, I'm dreaming of that lifestyle where I can sit and watch the Disney fireworks, or I can be outside and see that lakefront or whatever. They're dreaming of lifestyle, right? We, for every home, which by the way, start using the listing checklist, please. Every home, we want to put it by every possible lifestyle that this home can fill a box for, right? Is it active living? Is it lakefront? Is it golf front? What is it? And each of those lifestyles equates to different websites, equates to different types of marketing. Everyone, because that's how we market, right? Nobody else does that. So we reverse prospect this thing. We actually look for the buyers based on the lifestyle they're dreaming of. Does that make sense? Nobody else does that.
Yep.
Right.
When you put a home in the MLS, it does not, Zillow doesn't do that, right? When you search on Zillow, it doesn't search by lifestyle. It searches by bedrooms and bathrooms and area, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And that's important that we make that distinction. Okay, Barbara, go. One thing about Sotheby's.
I'm at a car dealership, so I'm going to tell you,
Oh,
keeping the customer fully informed.
I love that. Absolutely. Sotheby's
I'm
actually
going back
tells
on
us
mute.
how our marketing is working with that list track report. We will get a report from the brand every week telling you where our customers are coming from, every zip code, what Sotheby's office has the most traffic that's looking at it, right? We will know how well our marketing is working and how to follow up and be more specific and targeted in our marketing. Love that. Miss Jeannie Green, what you got?
Well, you just took mine. I was just going to say that list track report is absolutely amazing. And we've used it a couple of times and people are amazed at the information that we have globally. That's what Sotheby's does.
Absolutely.
That's what sets us apart. The other agents sit there and they wait for the phone to ring. We go after the buyer.
Thank you. Absolutely. And we go after the buyer wherever they are, all over the world. Yes. Thank you. Absolutely. Emily Knudsen, what you got, my friend? Mute. Emily, you there? All right, we'll come back to you. Janet. Hello, Miss Janet. Janet?
Has anybody said our network yet?
No, go ahead, Tony.
I was going to say our network because, well, actually our network and our clients' net worth because our clients have the highest number of networks. So when we're talking to them, we have a network of people that will also connect us to people with that higher net worth because not only do we have this affiliation with the auction house, but the average person is going to buy a home has a net worth that is high enough to where this is probably their second home. So they've been around the block a few times. So you won't have the headaches that you will dealing with, as much fallout as you could with another brokerage that doesn't have clientele at the ready or a network at the ready where somebody will be able to pick up your house.
Absolutely. So let me take that another step further. Oh no, Janet, your microphone's not working. Yes, absolutely, Tony. We have the highest net worth of customers and clientele in our network, and they come from the auction house. That auction house clientele, their average net worth is 800 million. Who else has access to that type of network? Nobody. I mean, think about it. I'm going to make okay, my kids are all in college, so you guys know that I always go to the college people because these are the people I know right now, right? And when you're thinking about where your kids want to go to college, what do you think about? You think about the alumni network, don't you? Because
Yep.
that is going to be their connection to giving them jobs, right? So when my son moved to, and I'm just going to mention Northwestern, one of the things that was most exciting to me after the big, he went to this big welcome thing, I met the head of their alumni network from Northwestern. And what was so cool was he shared with me, he was the president of Stanford. He has done all sorts of things. He's a lawyer. He's like, Carrie, please reach out, whatever he needs. He's an attorney. He's a top attorney. He's been all over. He writes books. He's been interviewed everywhere. He's like, our network, our Northwestern network, Wildcat Network is real. Anything he needs, we will help him get, any kind of job, internships, whatever he needs. That's why you send your kids to these types of schools, right? It is the same thing. If you want to sell your home, do you not want to get it in front of the best customers everywhere? And yeah, what if your home's 300,000? Would you care? I would care. Do I want my home in a market like we're in right now, where interest rates are changing at a daily rate, where today you may qualify and tomorrow you may not? Do I want that to be where my home is? Or do I want my home to be under contract with somebody who has $800 million and can buy 5 of my home in a day, right? Like, I want the most qualified buyer, don't I? That is the importance of having the highest net worth of customers. And we only send all of our homes to our customers. Now, yeah, could they look on Zillow? Sure. But these are really very busy people. And maybe they are looking on Zillow, but they are being spoon-fed all of our listings, only our listings. And at every auction event, there is a real estate desk with just Sotheby's properties. So they're getting it sent to them direct. They're having it at every auction event. Every opportunity, they're seeing Sotheby's listings. I don't know about you. That's pretty awesome. Would you not agree? Okay, I'm gonna say you do. Okay, Carla.
Can you hear me, Karen?
I can, a little bit quiet. Try to talk a little louder.
Okay, so I think that the level of service that they expect from us is one of the biggest things.
Absolutely. And at a brand level, you're 100%. Whether you're coming from Sotheby's in Tokyo, whether you're coming from Sotheby's in Egypt, which, by the way, I just found out there's 3 locations in Egypt. I found that out yesterday. Or whether you're coming from Sotheby's here in Orlando, Florida, you can definitely expect to receive the same level of customer service. I think that is huge. Everybody is at the same important level where we understand the needs of the customers. The customers come first, and we all have that same level of customer experience. That's what they come to expect, and that's what we will give them. I completely agree. Great point. Okay, Oksana, what you got? Oksana, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm driving and my
She's not there.
Okay. You want to come back to us later? We're hard to hear. Okay, we're going to come back to you because it's hard to hear you and you're probably in a bad location. No worries. Miss Emily, are you there? Emily. Yeah, Oksana, we can't hear you at all.
oh, it's Emily.
Emily, okay, what you got?
I was gonna say the ones that other people have said, like hear me okay? Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now, but hold on. Now we got Emily talking. So hang on a second. Okay, go ahead, Emily.
I was just gonna say that report because that you sent to the buyers, or to the sellers. I'm sorry, but I would also say that our network, like how we have the network of other agents throughout the world, and they are very generous in sharing our listings with their people as well on their social media and their, their networks.
That's an excellent point. Thank you. I was waiting for someone to say that. You would be the perfect person to say that. It is the collaboration between our brand. We are the only company I've ever seen doing that. The collaboration between agents. Listen, most other companies, and I'm going to say 99% of them, and I've been with a lot of other companies, and I know a lot of other brokers, and we've had this conversation, they're competitive. Many of them are competitive on their own floor within their own company. But you will have, like I said, Coldwell Bankers across the street. One's corporate owned, one's a franchise, and they compete against each other, or even within the same office. We don't do that. 100%, Emily. Just as I've said with Carrie Bellish, her home and reunion is still on the Zurich website. That home from reunion shows that home on the Zurich website from Zurich Sotheby's. Right now, we're showing homes from the celebration in the UK and down in Miami. And we have now, we have California working with us. They will work with you. If you reach out to them, they will help us. We have had co-listings with Equestrian Sotheby's, where we know that's our feeder market. And David Wells from Equestrian Sotheby's came for the listing presentation. Who does that, guys? He came to Ocala for the listing presentation. We would not have gotten that $12.9 million sale last year if it was not for David Wells. We did not have that kind of sale under our belt in Ocala. Nobody did. And they said, well, how could you possibly sell this? You've never sold this before. He got in the car, drove up, and he said, that's almost my average sales price, which was true because the Equestrian Sotheby's in Wellington, they have very high average sales. And so he said, we're going to sell this together. This is my average sales price. We have tons of these sales down here, and we have tons of buyers that would love to come to Ocala now that you have the World Equestrian Center. We're going to put it in our MLS here. We're going to put it in the MLS here. We're going to market in both places. We're going to market to all of our customers here. We're going to market to the customers there, and then all throughout Sotheby's. And not only did we get that listing, but we sold that listing. That's the amazing thing about our brand. We truly work together. Nobody does that. That's huge, Emily. Thank you for that. Okay, Oksana, go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm just driving and in and out of service here, but yeah, to add to Carla and Emily, I would say our team and our leadership is very strong, and I think that's a reflection of our services and our abilities to perform.
I love that. And to that point, not only our Premier Sir, which we haven't even gotten to that, but also Jeff from the brand came to our event. He is the head of brand services for, he has a much better title, I can never say it right. He's actually going to come on site, by the way, in October and talk about all the brand things that we have. But they will come. You know who's come to a lot of our things? The CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer of all of Sotheby's. He'll come to our stuff. We have the auction house. We've had them come. They're coming to an event in March in North Carolina. And they're coming and doing an event for us for a grand opening of the Charlotte office, the auction house. So we will have the auction house that had leadership from Sotheby's International Realty. They will come and work with us in conjunction to do things with us. So you're 100% on Oksana. We work together. There is no other company that does that. The only company, which is why we did work together to acquire Christie's, because that was the only company that had a similar type of thing that we did with an auction house, was Christie's. And they still didn't have the collaboration that we have. And I know, Kelly, you were part of that company. You could share, and Emily, they did not actually work with the auction house, correct? They didn't, right? But
no, they did not.
Yeah, only Sotheby's does that. We are the only company because we truly are connected with the auction house. That is such a special thing. In so much, here's another one, a value proposition, don't want to steal it from somebody, but you also have the opportunity, if they have artwork, cars, jewelry, anything like that, you can help them by even putting it on our website. There's a site on the Access site where you can put the information, take some pictures, and Sotheby's can see if they want to auction that on their whether it's a virtual auction or at the auction house. They mentioned that also at the meeting, that they are doing a big part of that. So you can help the customer even auction their own belongings at the auction house or through the auction house. How cool is that? And by the way, you get a commission for that. That's pretty cool. So we are that connected with the auction house. Nobody else does that. That is providing them full service. That's not just real estate service, that's full service. Would you guys agree? This is a great thing. Okay, Angie, we're talking about the value proposition of Sotheby's. You want to share one?
Hey, Carrie, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. In a sec, I don't know. I don't
It's okay, you don't know what everybody else said, so I just didn't know if you wanted to share one. You don't have to.
Okay.
It's okay. Hey, Sonia, did you want to share one or did she step away? Oh, there you are. Did we miss anything? You want to share anything? Any value propositions of Sotheby's we might have missed?
Well, I think I might have missed it, but I just want to reinforce the fact that we are the brand. We are always out there marketing for you guys on a much higher level. Our name is everywhere. We're in every magazine that has to do with real estate. We have the news. We're in newspapers, and this is everywhere. So all the branding is connected. It's all immediate recognition when people see Sotheby's. And then they know exactly that you're going to bring the quality to the table, and you almost get your foot in the door before you even show up. So I just want to reinforce that, as well as, you know, the insurance options that we offer. And I just want to follow up on the networking opportunities, because I have seen so many agents work together and collaborate. And I really think that's a very strong, and even in the road show the other day, that was a great room of people networking and just talking about properties and things that they have going on. So they get a lot of opportunity to do that with our company.
Great, thanks. So we hadn't gotten to Premier Sotheby's, we're still on Sotheby's, but yes, but Sotheby's also has plenty of networking. Like we're having the GNE, the Global Networking Event, which you all need to make sure you put on your calendar for next year. But so that gives you an opportunity to actually network with all the global advisors from around the world, which is fabulous. But one other thing I do want to mention, which Sonia just sort of talked about, remember, in addition to all these other things, Sotheby's also all the time is not only creating amazing PR opportunities for us, but they're also creating exclusive opportunities for advertising. So the latest is Le Figaro, and that is the French outlet that they now have us in. But remember, we're in over 100 different exclusive opportunities, in addition to the ones that the MLS does. And we do not syndicate through the MLS. This is huge, and this is because of Sotheby's. So we do not use low resolution photos. We don't like them. And we know that your search engine optimization will be greatly reduced if you use low resolution photos. So we turn off syndication in the MLS, which is why it's really hard to take a listing live on the weekend. Sorry, that's the problem, because we syndicate through Sotheby's. So what happens is the low resolution photos only go to the MLS. High resolution photos will go through Sotheby's. So all syndication happens. So all the regular sites that you normally syndicate through MLS only go through Sotheby's. We syndicate everything through Sotheby's. Even Realtor.com, which took us about 3 years to actually get them to agree, we will syndicate all media. So that's video and photos, all come through Sotheby's from even Realtor.com. So when people are searching for properties in our location, in our area, putting anything, even the Realtor.coms, ours will populate first, because of the high resolution photos and digital that we have. And that is a huge value add that we have. Also, another really great thing is that with all these additional opportunities, for example, if somebody wanted to be in the Bloomberg or the James Edition or the Wall Street Journal, someone could take an ad out, right? It's not like, sorry, only we can do it. But we have the exclusive opportunities where we have exclusive positioning. So we are the only ones, by the way, who are in the Emirates Air in-flight video. So we're in the in-flight film that comes in. So for example, here in Orlando, there is a flight from Emirates Air that goes Dubai to Orlando direct. If you're on that flight, you see Sotheby's homes. We are in that. No other real estate company is. I don't know about you guys, but that is our audience, right? The people that are on that flight, that is exactly the type of clientele we want. We are the only ones that are doing that. We are also in, of course, as you guys know, the Juwai in China, the Nikkei in Japan, the Financial Times in India, but we are Estacion, that's the Mexican media conglomerate. We are the only real estate company that is doing that. Obras and Ventas, that was a private one that we had. These are the things that Sotheby's is constantly looking to build. So the latest one that they added to that mixture was the Le Figaro, and that's in France. So they have all of these different things that they're constantly adding to. That is in addition, and those are the ones that we want to add to the pulse, right? By using the List Sync, because we want our customers to see that we are not only talking about it, but we're showing them all this amazing exposure, because we know the type of people that are looking at those are the kinds of customers that should be seeing their home for sale. And by the way, we're getting a lot of leads from the James Edition and Mansion Global lately. So just take a look at that, because they are, and if you get a lead through James Edition, it's not fake. They're actually real leads. I was talking to somebody yesterday, like, oh, this isn't a real lead. I'm like, yes, it is. It's actually the James Edition. That's a real lead. So I just want you to be aware of that. So right there alone, I think you've already given enough reason and differentiation from other brands. Would you not agree? Verizon should get 6%. Would you not agree to that? But hey, we haven't even touched on Premier Sotheby's, have we? So let's talk about how Premier Sotheby's is different. We are a marketing company, are we not? Every piece that we create for their home is custom done. No, we don't create flyers for their home from RPR or Cloud CMA, right? These flyers are all done. Everything that we're going to prepare for their home to put out to the public is done and created in-house by our marketing team. It's not like they're going to go and, for example, that home that we have for sale, that's the same as 4 other homes, the exact same floor plan in Eagle Creek. Let's say all 4 of them or 5 of them had an open house and somebody went and visited all 5 houses. I guarantee 4 of them would have the exact same flyer, wouldn't they? But ours would not. Ours would be different because they would be done by our marketing team. Ours are all created in-house, all done by our marketing company, because we actually have real designers on staff. And if you want something even more custom, they'll create whatever you want. That is the beauty. And if you have somebody who says, like I had somebody who, was it Oksana? Who somebody said that they wanted to do a listing presentation, just email it to me. We can actually do a custom, our beautiful listing presentation, and we can put it in a presentation suite, which already is in there, and we can text it to them. We can send it via WhatsApp, can't we? And it has videos in it, and it has beautiful, you can add your testimonials and your Facebook. All that stuff can be right in there, isn't it? Who else has that? Nobody. We have so many beautiful pieces. Now, in addition to that, and I think somebody wrote that in there, maybe you, Angie, we are the only company that has our own PR department. That is huge, guys. Now, I think you need to really be able to speak to the PR, because that is something that people need to understand. PR is not paid for advertising. We can pay for an ad, right? But paying for an ad is completely different than an ad like a Wall Street Journal or LA Times or somebody actually writing an ad, a story about your home. That is completely different. Now, to give you an example, for the $37 million listing, Tasha has been on the news 3 times already. And all she's concerned about is her hair. But anyway, that's a totally another story. She cracks me up. I didn't like my hair. I'm like, are you kidding me? You were just on the news. It was like awesome. They interviewed you. You sounded great. It was awesome. She's like, yeah, but my hair didn't look good. I'm like, are you kidding me? But guys, that's amazing. That is incredible. That is out there forever. That stuff does not go away. That stuff has a shelf life. That stuff should be added to your YouTube channel, not just your social, right? These are things that you need to be using and getting out there. That stuff people can look up and see forever. That is like in the encyclopedia, if you will, okay? Unlike a paid for piece that disappears. You follow me? It's kind of like, if you think about the difference, it's like if you post something on Facebook and it disappears, right? You can't even find it again. Versus if you put something on YouTube and it stays there for forever and people can search it. That's kind of the difference. So it's huge to have PR. That Shaquille O'Neal house that we did, we had over, oh my gosh, 190 PR pieces written for that. Crazy, right? So we have, I mean, that the piece that the house that Chris and Julie have with the Millennium Falcon Theater Room, I can't even tell you how many pieces have been written about that lately. People love that. It's, you know, Star Wars crazy. So anything you have, but it doesn't have to be 15 million. It doesn't have to be 37 million. Tasha had a home, and I won't forget this one because it was really funny. It was only like $450. It wasn't expensive, but it was in downtown Ocala. It was historic. I did an open house. I did a video, a Facebook Live with her. She didn't want to go in it. It was haunted. It was on one of the, I know. It was on one of those, you know, those shows about the ghost hunters or whatever. And she's like, I don't want to go in there. It's like, but we got so much PR on that home because it had been one of those, you know, haunted houses things. And the people who bought it, they loved that about it. Yeah, it was kind of weird. Like our Facebook Live thing didn't work upstairs and downstairs. It was a little creepy. It was a little creepy. I will be honest. Most interesting things happen while we're in the house. Yeah, but we got a lot. So it doesn't necessarily have to be price point. It could be somebody interesting who owned it. It could be something unique about the area, right? So think outside the box. If you have anything interesting to say about the property, about who owned it originally, about anything, it does not have to be millions of dollars. So when you are on a listing appointment, find that information out or before you go, because that's something you could really pitch to about PR. It does not have to be a multi-million-dollar property. Everybody with me on that? So I think that's important that you understand that. It does not have to be a famous person and it doesn't have to be millions of dollars. It could just be something unique and interesting about the property that helps us to be able to get a lot of PR on it. Something unique about that property that we can pitch the story. And if that, then that's what she does. She takes it, she pitches it, she writes like a little kind of synopsis and she sends it to all these news media and sees who picks up the story. And that haunted house thing got picked up by tons of people. It was really funny. And we put about the doctor who owned it and how he came up with the first horse and buggy thing and, you know, whatever. But that's not, they didn't go with any of that. They went, everybody went with the fact that it was a haunted house. So whatever, it didn't matter. You know, it got a lot of PR. So whatever, we didn't care. PR was good PR. Any PR is good PR on a house. So that's really important. Okay, so I want anybody else to tell me, Kelly, anything else you got about Premier Sotheby's?
I would say the private placement.
Private placement, love that. You put them in the driver's seat. Let them take the time to figure out where they're going while we can showcase their home to all of our personal customers with the top agents. And when they're ready to go, we probably have already found their customer. Maybe not anymore, but that's like a good idea. Love that, private placement. Sherry, Tony, you guys got something? Sherry, Tony, maybe not. Barbara, are you still there? Are you at the, I know you're at the dealership. Okay, anybody else? Jeannie Green, you have something? Okay,
No, I'm good.
okay. You have it. What about Premier Sotheby's? What do you think is a unique thing about Premier Sotheby's? How about the Pulse report? You like that?
I do like the Pulse report. Yeah, I've used that. And I leave copies of it when I do a listing. I leave that with people so they can read it later. I write the most insipid things sometimes, like watering the plants and, you know, just driving by and checking the mail. I mean, I feel like I write the dumbest things, but it's amazing how people read it.
I think they love it. They love to see what you're doing and they love to see that you're taking care of their property. I think it's important. You know, that's the thing. We do so much for people and they don't know it. It's important to let them see what we're doing. I think it's great. Good for you. I love that. Anybody else? Emily, you have anything else that Premier Sotheby's does that nobody else does?
I like how you talked about the advertising. I would say that our network also within Premier, so we can work together within markets like I went over to like a special brokers open in Tampa before, because those are our, our Premier Sotheby's over there. So that's important as well.
Love that. Absolutely. We oftentimes collaborate within our own offices, within our brand, maybe Naples. We do a lot of that collaboration. Here's another one. For example, we've had agents here in this office and in Naples office and in Tampa, and they did an event talking about the benefits of the area. And they did a wonderful job, talking about what's going on here, what's going on in those markets. And they did, I was on there, they had marketing on there. It was a fabulous event. So we can do marketing together. We could collaborate together. I think it's a great thing because we, by nature, are collaborative, not just outside with other affiliates, but within our own offices as well. Love that. Anybody else? Oksana, Angie, Jan, anybody? Carla, you got something?
What was the question, Carrie?
With Premier Sotheby's, anything else that you think is very unique and different that we do that other people don't?
Well, definitely our exposure.
Absolutely.
I mean, and nobody else is really doing the marketing tools that we use, so.
I completely agree with that. I also have to say, on that point, within Premier Sotheby's, the tools, how we use them. For example, how we can take your home, turn it into a flip book, get it out to any agent that we see that's looking at it so that they can share it with their customers. I mean, who does that, right? Nobody else can do that. So we can take this to a different level that I think other people don't even try to do, right? And that's important that the sellers know that we are bothering to do that. Think about that. I want to share one other thing. And I know because I have a lot of agents that I've worked with in the past that used to say, oh, we don't work with buyers. I'm a listing agent only. I think it's actually a disservice to you if I actually worked both. Can you believe that? I've had agents that actually say that. And they do that because they don't want to work both sides. Very funny. I think it's very important that we point out the great news, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, is that we are transaction brokers for a reason, because we know the importance of trying to find your buyer. And if we could be so lucky to be able to represent both sides, we can make sure it's a smooth transaction, because the most important thing is getting you where you need to go. And if we can help that and make sure that that is a smooth transaction, that would be the best scenario. We can't always guarantee that. And we're happy to work with anybody we can, which is why we're going to look everywhere and put your home in front of the most qualified people and work with the best agents we can find. But if we can help in any way, and if we can certainly do both sides for you, we're happy to work double to do that. I highly recommend you say that, because if you don't, that's why they think that you can work both sides and make no money, right? That's the thing. If you don't discuss that right up front, they think, oh, well, if you do both sides, you're just not doing anything extra. You need to point out that when you're working both sides, you're working double. So I recommend when you're talking about doing all of this and trying to find the buyer, let them know that that's actually doing double, right? It's kind of like when you say in the beginning, there's 3 things that are going to happen today. Like, we're going to work together and everything's going to be great. You're going to not maybe like my marketing or my pricing, and that's okay. I may not feel good with what you've decided, and I'm never going to overpromise and underdeliver, and that's okay too, right? It's like setting those examples. You need to do that when you're talking about finding the buyer and all that. You need to say, we really want to make sure we can find your buyer, and I'm happy to work double. It'd be even my honor to work both sides, because I want to make sure this transaction goes smoothly, and I'm happy to do double the work for that. Let them know that, because they will never have thought about that. I guarantee you. Has anybody ever heard that before? Probably not, right? Because what's going to happen is they're going to be like, oh, work double. Yeah, representing both sides. You're working double, aren't you? Mm-hmm. And sometimes if you have a bad agent, you're working triple. So I want you guys to say that beforehand, okay? So everybody kind of good where we are? Now, anybody have a close that you use for the commission? Because if not, I'm going to give you mine. Everyone's quiet. Angie, you got one?
No, I want to wait for you. I think you no. I like to talk. Ah,
Okay, nobody? Nobody wants to share. Okay, this is one I always like to say. I'm gonna say, now for all of this amazing marketing, you're not gonna believe, but for everything we're gonna do, we only charge 6%. And you stay quiet. And that's it. And you get them to sign. You hand them over. And you have your little marketing thing out. Now, what I really like is a piece that I'm working on, that I've had worked on. And Sonia, I want to talk to you about it because it's a shopping piece. It's a seller's piece. And it has gold, silver, gold, and platinum. Now, silver, gold, and platinum. Silver is all the things we do, 6%. Gold is all the things we do, plus some extra stuff that you're going to do. Maybe it's going to include some staging. Maybe it's going to include some drone. Maybe it's going to include whatever, right? Platinum, maybe it's going to include some, whatever, some extra stuff that you're going to add on there, some extra 3D video or whatever. You're going to put some Matterport or, you put some extra things. Maybe do 6, 6.5, and 7. However you want to lay out that commission. So I like to talk about all those things. And in my presentation, depending on what I've added on there, I'm going to talk about maybe that 3D Matterport. Maybe I'm going to talk about the drone, maybe based upon their property. If it's a condominium, I'm not talking drone. I'm going to talk about that, right? And I'm going to flip it over at the end and I'm going to say, well, it sounds to me, we really like the drone idea. We really want to make sure that we do that 3D Matterport and blah, 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 blah. So it looks like we've selected the platinum plan, which is only 7%. And you just let them look at that. And if they go, oh, that's a little high or whatever, you can say, well, I mean, I guess we could take that out and we could do everything else and just do the gold plan at 6.5. It's a great tool because it lets them choose their marketing plan. So you follow me, Sonia? I had that. Mode had it. Can you get it from Mode? It was called our marketing services offering or something like that. If you tell Mode, it was for me that she was creating it. Now, everybody can customize their own. So the basic plan is the same, but you can add on yours what your extra things are going to be and what your percentages are going to be. If you want to do 6, 6.5, and 7, 6, 6.25, and 6.5, it's up to you. You add whatever you want to add that, right? And you could change it per listing. Maybe, we put it into, I mean, it's really nice, ideally, if it's like a fold out, that's really nice. But if it's even just printed out and you just kind of do it that way, that's okay too. Or if we just do it as a one-sider and you just flip it over, that could work too. If we wanted to do that, Sonia, that would work as well. But I think the most important thing is giving them maybe a one-sider and then they could just print it out, right? So instead of having it as a 3-sider, now it'd be easier if it was just one side with kind of everything and then the other side that had the 3 packages. Let's try to do that, Sonia. Let's turn it into a one-sider thing. A 2-sider, but 1 page, if you follow me, Sonia, because that way they could use it and create it as they want to on the other side. And maybe it's like an editable on the bottom. So it's like all of it's like fixed with our things. And then what makes it silver, gold and platinum is the things that they can add to it and they can add their commission. That's what's editable. That would be so great. And then you print this out based upon what you want to do and you bring it. And then this is your marketing services plan as part of the marketing thing that you give, right? And you use that as your tool for them to decide what they want to choose. People love to shop, guys. Nobody loves to be sold, but people love to shop. And you decide what their marketing plan should be. And if they're like, I really wanted that, but I don't feel comfortable with you can say, listen, if you don't tell anybody, because I know you're going to give me a lot of referrals, but you promise not to tell anybody, I will add that Matterport as my closing gift to you for 6%, but don't tell anybody because I can't do that for everybody. Okay, you promise? So you put the Matterport, you drive it over here, you throw the 6%, you circle it, you write on it, Carrie, you sign it, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we'll do the 6% with the Matterport, but don't tell anybody and give me a lot of referrals. Promise? Okay, great. Okay, you can totally do that. Does it sound good? Does everybody feel comfortable with that? This is a tool that will really help you increase your commission. Okay, you got that, Sonia? I'm going to talk to Jerry about it too today. Can you put something in for Jerry? I'm going to ask Jerry to do it. Okay, awesome. I'm going to get this worked out for you guys, so you'll have this as a tool. And it's going to be, like I said, one page so that you can edit it yourselves and print it out however you want to. And then you can bring it for each listing appointment on a really nice piece of paper. So yeah, good. I'm glad you like it, Jeannie. And it's just going to really help you and let people decide how they want to handle their marketing with you. This should be a team effort. And this is what's really great about this. This lets them buy into the fact that they're doing this with you, right? The most important thing in a listing presentation, you need to be in control, but you need them to buy in to the fact that they're doing it with you. If it's all about you, you're always going to be wrong. That's why you can't name the price. It has to be a range. They have to buy in. If they don't buy in, it's always going to be your fault, right? It's got to be the market's fault. It can never be your fault. And they have to buy in because you have to be a team. Does that make sense? Everybody with me? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to create that marketing piece for you, our marketing services plan, our marketing services offering. We'll come up with a nice name. Mode had one on there, but I didn't really like the name of it. We can change the name. Did you find it? Oh, you probably don't have it yet. I probably have it in my, I'll look for it. I don't want to take some time now. Okay, so everybody good with that? That is how you go for your commission. Now, at that point, everyone's like, because you just went through this whole conversation about, right, commission. This is why I do not look at the home first, because now you go, oh my gosh, I haven't even seen the home. Can you take me around and please show me your 5 favorite things? Because I'm going to take some pictures, get some pre-marketing ideas going, right? Now you have them show you the home. You get up off that table and you walk around. You need to get that tension down, because that is a moment of tension when you're going through all that and you're like deciding pricing. You go see the home and then you come back. By the way, when you're seeing the home, you're taking pictures, you're having a very friendly conversation. They bought in. They're now with you. They're on your side. You're already getting them on the side that they've already hired you. You love that? I love that. Oh, this is the best thing. We're going to start with this marketing. You're talking the marketing plan. You're talking about the matter part. You're talking, oh, show me the favorite thing. We're going to make sure we do this in the marketing. You got that buy-in, right? So this way, you haven't even done pricing of the home, but they're already buying into the fact that they hired you, right? Perfect. Now you get back to that table and now you got to price the home. Now I gave you the opportunity to see the house. So if you need to adjust your pricing, it doesn't matter, because what did you come with? A range, right? And I love the RPR because what does it give you? The range. So if you want to suggest higher or lower on the range, you can do that based on what you just saw when you saw the property, right? But this is what the Power Seller Report is. Okay, everybody's seen my cover before, correct? Do I need to show the cover? Everybody's seen my Power Sellers Report cover. I've sent it to everybody before. But what is the Power Sellers Report? Does everybody know the secret of the Power Sellers Report? No. Okay, I will tell you. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, as we've talked about the fact that most real estate agents come in here. We don't even say realtor sometimes. Sometimes we use the words against people, right? Most real estate agents come in here and, of course, as we mentioned, their whole idea is to put it in the MLS, place a sign in your yard and pray someone else sells it. But that's not our plan. Here with Premier Sotheby's International Realty, our whole goal is to find you that buyer, to get your home in front of the most qualified people so we can find you the highest qualified buyer to get you where you want to go, right? With the least amount of trouble. That's our goal. And to do that, we can't do a regular CMA. CMA, comparative market analysis, which is what most agents do, is what most agents look for, right? And they do that because they know other agents are going to be selling your home. That's the whole point. We'll do something similar, but what we're going to do is a report that's more based for what the appraiser is going to look at. Because again, we are going to be focused on appraisals. Because at the end of the day, as we talked about right in the beginning, remember the 5 things it takes to sell a home? Remember who's in control? the market, right? Because it doesn't matter if the buyer comes in here and says, boy, this home is amazing. They want to spend $1 million. Unfortunately, it's going to be that appraiser who looks and sees other homes in the neighborhood with similar bedrooms and bathrooms. And they're going to determine based upon what the other values are, the pricing of your home, right? So we're going to actually look at it more from the appraiser perspective. But because we're very focused on finding you the buyer, we're actually going to put you in the driver's seat by doing a power sellers report. So first things first, what we're going to look at is what the appraiser, so we pull out the CMA, right? Of course, there's a CMA, guys. We do an RPR CMA. And we talk about, in the CMA, guys, do not do more than 3 like-kind properties. Do not do tons, don't do anything pending. We don't care about pending. Pending is trash. It doesn't mean anything, because if something's pending, what's it pending for? Nobody knows, right? Now, I always like to keep expireds in my bag, and I always like to keep things that are active in my bag, because it depends on if you have an engineer in front of you or not, right? It depends on where that conversation is going. But I always like to have in my RPR report 3 sold properties, if you can, right? This is like perfect scenario that are the closest. And we talk about the closest comps, and we say, based upon these, this is probably where the appraiser might go. And I always like to do price per square foot. And then I'll pull out from the MLS. Do you guys all know the stats? You guys all know that? Let me pull that up. Share screen. Hold on. So when we're at the MLS, of course, I'm out of the MLS. Let's hope I'm in it. I tried to log in before. Let's see. Oh, is it? Am I still in it? That would be so exciting. Let's see. Did it stay in there? We can hope. Oh, we did. Okay. So let's say we were finding a home, residential, and we were searching for a home. What happened here? Someone give me a listing that we have, or a listing that you want to do. Anybody? Sold. Okay. All right, I'm going to pull one because no one's helping. Now, here's another thing. If you're doing one recently, you need to think about the fact that the market has changed. So I might not even pull up the last 180 days. I might pull up the last 60 days if there's enough sales. If there's not enough sales, I might break it down by months. Okay. But you got to talk about timing. Absolutely, it's got to be part of your conversation now, right?
Carrie, I have one
What do you got?
of a listing appointment we just went on. It's 82 Wentwood Drive,
Wait, what's the zip?
32713.
And what's the community?
I don't think it is. It's just, I don't know that it has a community.
What's the price point, or what's total bedrooms and bath? Well, give me the price range.
It's a 3.2. And they bought it for 279.
Okay. And
82 Wentwood Drive in DeBerry.
82. Let's see. Let's put it here. 1 mile from 82 Wentworth, W-E-N.
Wentwood.
Wood.
Yep, Drive in DeBerry.
It doesn't come up. Wentwood. Did I spell that wrong?
No, that's what it is. That's weird.
I don't know. Oh, here it is.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. So I'm getting 38 matches. Good God. Within a mile? Okay, so then I'm going to take this back and I'm going to go to 60 days. 15.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the subdivision.
Let's go to 30 days. 7. Okay, let's take a look. So within a mile of this home. Okay, so we've got a bunch of different subdivisions. Which one was it in, you think? Reserve to Berry, Rivington.
No, I think it was Parkview. Is
Okay,
that sound right?
there's
Shoot,
a
I don't
Parkview
remember.
here. Let me go back to criteria. Let's go
It
back.
wasn't Rivington. It might have been, maybe it was, I don't know. I'll have to, Tony just went on a call, so I can't ask him.
So let's for sake of this experience, let's say it's, well, Parkview only has one sale.
Okay, so let's just go with maybe a different one.
Let's say it's
Just to make it
Plantation
clear.
Estates. I don't know.
Okay,
Let's say it's Plantation, but see, what was the square footage in the home?
oh gosh, I don't have that information right in front of me. Sorry, I didn't bring any of that with me from my office at home. It's in the
Yeah,
box.
well, let's just fake it and pretend we have this information, just
Okay.
for sake of our experience here.
I just have the
Right.
address.
So we're gonna do this, Plantation Estates. I say the last 90 days, because that's more accurate. And let's say, okay, let's say it's more like 1,600 square feet. You gotta throw out the 1,300. So I'm gonna do
Right.
that criteria. And I'm gonna say square footage, I'll say between 16 and 2,200, just to get that out of there. All right, so now I have my three, right? Let's say these are my three.
Oh, perfect.
And
Mhm.
I'm gonna do stats tabular. Now I'm gonna do the RP report. So I would have done this, look, these, and I'm gonna do my RPR report. Let's add Jeannie Green. She must have dropped out. So I'm gonna add, and I'm gonna do my RPR report. So I would open one into RPR. So RPR is right here. So I would have done my RPR report. It's taking forever to sign in. I would have used those three. I wouldn't have to go through the whole thing because I already had them, but I probably would have anyway, just to see if they came up with anything else. Let's see, where's my RPR? Oh my God. All right, that's gonna annoy me, but it's gonna go in there. And then I'm gonna go back to my agent line display. And then after I do my RPI report, I'm always gonna take this, a screenshot of this with me. Stats tabular, you guys all use this? This is
Mhm.
awesome. Now, if you want, you can also do, so this tells you the average price per square foot sold is 161. The
Okay.
average days on market are 25 in the last 90 days. Now, you could also go back to criteria if you want. Criteria. And I could add, if I wanted to, depending on what I thought was going on in that community, I could add active, pending, and canceled and expired. Let's see if I get anything else. Results. What do I have in here? So I have a couple pending and one active, but I could add that into my stats tabular and it'll break it up into category. That's one way that I might want to show that data, which I like. See, it'll show the active, it'll show the
nice.
pending, it'll show the canceled, the sold. I don't like the all, so I probably won't even show the all. I'll just do it like this. And I'll take a screenshot of just that. And say, you can see in the last 90 days, the maximum that's sold, price per square foot, now you're gonna have this all pulled up, you're gonna know, was 207. So that has to be the top of your range, right, for appraisal. So when you're doing the price per square foot, this is where you're, based on what we think may appraise. Again, may appraise, will appraise, right? This is an idea. And then the low, look at the big jump, 134. Now we're gonna have to really look at the comps and see the difference, but you guys all with me? Now what's pending is 179 on average, right? Max was 212, but we don't really know because pending doesn't mean anything. So, but the point is 179, it says that that's the price that it was, but we don't know what it actually pended at. So it could be much lower, could be higher, but it probably could be lower. So unless you have a chance to call that agent. Now, can the seller tell, or can the agent tell you what it pended at? Anybody? Peyton says no, because it hasn't gone through yet. Anybody else want to share?
What was the question, Carrie?
Can the agent tell you, if you call the agent, it's you, Carla, and I say, hey, Carla, I see that you have a house that's pending in 123 Mary Way. Can you tell me how much it pended at?
No.
No.
Yes, you can. So this is the question. Never ask that question because the agent's going to be stupid and say, I can't tell you, that's against the code of ethics. And they're idiots because they don't know the code of ethics. This is what you have to say. And I know because
I'd say that is against the law.
Oh, that's even worse. Okay. Oh my God. This is what you have to say. You have to say, hi, this is Carrie from Premier Sotheby's. I was just wondering, the house that pended on 123 Mary Way, did your seller give you the authority to share what it pended at? Because if the seller's letting you tell, you can tell. That is the whole point. You are allowed to share the information if the seller says you can. Okay? So that is how you must phrase that. Now, if the agent says, well, I can't tell you because that's against the code of ethics, you can say, well, not according to my broker who actually teaches the code of ethics. So you might want to read that again. But you might not want to say it like that because they'll never tell you because that's a little bit snippy. So, but it is not against the code of ethics. The code of ethics simply states that the seller has to give the authority to tell that information. It's dependent on whether the seller cares to share that or not. Now, the seller may or may not want to share that, right? But if you phrase it like that, did the seller give you the authority to share how much it pended at? You know, then they may stop and think about it. But if you just say, how much did it pend at? You're going to get a lot of very snippy answers. And I have heard that's against the FREC violation. It's not a FREC violation. That's even funnier. How does that deal with licensure law? I mean, I love that one. That's my favorite answer. That person needs to go back to real estate school because they don't even know what licensure law is. Okay. So anyway, but that was fun. Thanks, Carla. I appreciate that one. You've heard that one too, I see. Okay. So then we take the address. And what was the address again? Sherry? 82.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Wentwood
Drive, DeBerry, Florida? DeBerry, Florida. Okay, here's the rest of your power sellers report. So you've done an RPR, CMA. You've done the statistical, you know, that I did stats are, you know, from the MLS, right? And now you're going to pull up 3 sources. So I would pull up Zillow because as much as I hate to say it, everyone's going to look at this. And you see this? This is the Zestimate. What did you say it was sold at? What did you estimate?
What did we estimate that she sold it, that they were selling it for? We told them between 350 and 400.
Okay. And
we haven't actually gone over there yet. We just talked to her on the phone because she's a friend of ours.
So you take a screenshot of this because this is what people are going to look at. And the Zestimate is right in where you're thinking. So that's okay. So by the way, depending on where you listed at, let's say you listed it at, you know, 350, let's just say, right? You want to let those estimates show. So when it says AVM, yes or no, you say yes, because this is going to help you. You guys with me on this?
Mm-hmm.
If you came in at 400 and it says AVM, yes or no, you say no, because this is going to hurt you. Got it?
Okay.
So that one you're going to take a screenshot of and you're going to bring that. And then you're going to take another one. So maybe you go to realtor.com. And let's see what realtor.com says. They say that where is their AVM? Okay. I'm not seeing their AVM here. They're saying what it's sold for, but oh, they're still loading it. Okay, you're gonna pull up 3, following what I'm doing here, right? Oh yeah, 383. You're gonna print that out. You're gonna do 3 of them like that. And then you're gonna go to your website. And you're gonna do this. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, log in again. Seriously? We don't need to. Let's just do this. I don't need to log in for this. Oh my God. Can we just go here? Okay, whatever. Agent. Okay, here we go. So you go to the website. Oh, this is going to come on here. That's so funny. All right. And I'm going to go to this little spot here when it loads, which will be in, oh, I'm over time. Sorry, guys. And it's taking forever. Okay. See this down here? You can also go to your how much is your home worth, but you could do it right on your front page too, because it's taking forever. My internet's obviously a little too slow right now. And you're going to put down here. Let's do it. Well, when you put the address in here, if it will let me, oh my gosh, this is painful. You guys know what will happen, right? Maybe. Oh my God, this is painful. Come on. Okay, finally, 82 Wentwood Drive. Berry. Okay, Texas, what the heck? I get Texas, seriously? Berry. All right, and then you hit go. And this is the other thing you can bring. Now you might not want to bring this because this shows a lot higher. Interesting. So see which one works best for you if you want to bring it. This did bring some good information. Ranges, some information about median sales price. You may or may not want to bring this report. This is up to you. You know how to print the PDF. It's just right here, print right here. If you don't feel this is where you want it to be at, use another one like Trulia or something if it comes in where you want it to be at. Okay? But you bring 3 different sources that buyers are going to look at. This one's just good because it shows you 3 different sources right here, but it may not. I don't know if I'd want to show the 403 and the 408 if you're thinking it's under 4. Okay. And then after you do what the people are looking at, what the appraiser is going to look at, then you say, and this is what the buyers are going to see. And you lay all 3 out. So then you say, we have to either explain the value if you're going to come in higher, right? Or you say, we are going to, luckily we're going to let the market show this. So this is going to help sell your home because the buyers are actually going to see that we're coming in lower than the prices here because these prices were overinflated due to the market. And that's going to help sell your home. You following me?
Yes.
That's the power sellers report. We're letting them see, because the truth is buyers are going to be looking at that before they see their home. And if we're trying to find the buyer, we need to know what the buyer is looking at. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that is the power sellers report. Then you say, do you want to sell your home quicker? It's going to be on this side of the range. If you want to take a little more time, you have a little more time, but remember the first 30 days are crucial. So if you do want to let it sit a little bit, we have to be very, very cognizant of how many showings and how many offers. So I'll be willing and open to trying it a little bit, but if we haven't had X number of showings and X number of offers by a week or 2 weeks, we need to make a price adjustment quickly. And you need to add that to your listing agreement. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
So when you have the range, if they want to be higher on that range, I highly suggest writing into the listing agreement how many offers and how, an offer, at least one offer, and how many showings in a week or 2 before a price drop. Because it's the first 30 days before a listing gets stale. We all know that. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I hope you guys got something from today. Sonia and I will get started. I'll work with Jerry over here to try to get a jump on that piece for your commission conversation. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys again very soon. So thank you all for coming on Tuesday to our awesome event. And have a great rest of your week.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
You too. Thanks, Carrie. Bye.
Thank you, Carrie. Bye.
Thank you.